Welcome back to the renovation here. Let's just get into the work. Good thing is the windowsills that are oiled have now dried. The only thing I miss on those is to add a few finishing touches that are the acrylic bead around the edges. So I'll do that now. And in the one in the living room, I need to add the finishing line, and that will also be added with acrylic around the edges. Then the other day I fixed a small finishing element from when you enter into the house. I added this piece here, and as you can tell, it's not 100% stable, but I'll leave it there for now because I'm happy with how it looks, and I think it's stable enough. It's not too many people that will be walking on it, so I'm quite happy with it. Another thing I did was I added this piece of metal, which is also a finishing element on the top of the staircase. I'm not 100% happy with the outcome, and the reason is you can probably see it here. See that it's not completely flush, and I think the explanation to that is that I drilled holes and screwed it in here, but I should have done it down here. 3 screws instead. What you've all been waiting for, the great fly graveyard. As you can tell, we have quite a few flies, but there are no flies in a living condition. It means that what I did the other day was right. And what I'll do now is I'll vacuum them all up, and then I'll see if I'll experience many flies throughout the day today. And then I'm going to do the same thing where I'll give it the insect repellent or the aerosol that I've been using to see if I can get rid of a few more. I have a suspicion that they can get down through this crack here and through this crack over here. So I will probably give them the same acrylic grouting as I've done here around the edges. I'll also change these ones and hang up some new ones and see if it catches some more flies, but no, all in all, very happy. And again, 100% big shout out to the guy that gave me the advice of how I should overcome this issue. The next few things that I need to get done today, aside from a few finishing touches here and there, is to do all the skirting boards all around up here. To fix in the skirting boards, I need to rent a nail gun. I don't have that. I can borrow one from my friend, but I think it's easier just to rent it. It's not that expensive. It costs around 30 euros to rent it for 24 hours. And if I pre-cut all of them to size, to fit, like I've done downstairs, I can literally just walk over it and chuck them all in. The only thing that I cannot chuck in are the one that should go from here to here, because here we're going to install a door. And good news is that I have hired a carpenter who will come and do this next week. I probably won't be here myself, but I want to have all the cuts done for him so that he can just fit in the last pieces of the skirting board with the finishes that a professional carpenter can do, because I'm not at the level of a professional carpenter, but I can get by with what I can do. So yeah, I'll get to work. Okay, just a quick update. I have done quite a few good small tasks. Let me just show you what I've done. First thing, I've given this a bit of acrylic grouting around the edges here. So you can see this one is nice and done. The same goes for this one, acrylic grouting around the edges. So that's nicely done as well. And the same goes for the windowsill here, where I've added this finishing touch. So it's like a 90-degree half bent finishing element that goes here, and I quite like the look of it. So the only thing left to do on this window now is actually to give it a good sanding. I think my girlfriend already did that, so I think I only need to do the windows and not the frame, and then give it a couple of coats of paint. And I probably also need to touch up on the wall here where I've hit it with oil. And then something I'm very proud of is how I've managed to cut this finishing edge around the staircase here. I quite like how it has turned out, and I'm only showing it from these angles because I just hadn't enough. I quite frankly think I missed 2 or 3 centimeters. So I need to go and buy a new one. It's not too expensive, but I'd rather get it done nicely and correctly in the first place. On top of that, I also cut these ones to size. So this is a finishing edge as well that is supposed to go here and sit and cover up this area. So I'm going to nail these in, and then I'm going to give it a bit of acrylic, similar to how I'm doing with the skirting boards. I got all 4 of them cut to size, so they will sit all the way around the staircase going upwards here. And the final adjustment I have done is I have taken away the small piece of metal that I added on top of the staircase. That was the one that was sitting right here. And I'm going to screw it in from this angle instead and do it with some rounded screws so that the finishing is looking nicer on that part as well. Okay, I think that's all for now. I have to go back, get some lunch, and then I'll come back up here and continue with the skirting boards up on the second floor. I'm back here on my own. Just me. I've been out driving for the last couple of hours, just going back and forth, picking up stuff and doing things behind the camera that you don't eventually always see. And I'd actually reserved the nail gun in a professional builder's merchant store. And when I arrived, we quickly noticed that it was a bit overkill for the job that I need to do, fixing in the skirting boards, because the nails that it was going to punch in were having the same head size as these ones that you're seeing right here. It's probably quite long away of a distance from you, but they're very much overkill. So I then gave my friend a call, the guy who I had arranged with using his nail gun machine, and asked him if I could still use that one because it was better fit for doing these skirting boards. And I've got it right here. It's this monster. I know what you're thinking. It's yellow, and what we're normally using is red. I think it's a bit of a religion, and he is of the religion that says that his stuff needs to be yellow, and me and my family are of the religion that says that our stuff needs to be red. But I think it does the job just as well. So really can't complain, and I really thanks to Christian for letting me borrow this machine. Now, I've never tried this before, as with any other things here in the build. What I've just done off camera is I've tried to give it a shot with the finishing touches that goes around the staircase going up to the second floor. And I've also tried doing it at the bottom of the staircase. Let me just give you a quick show of how it looks. As you can see, job well done, at least in my own opinion. What I'll get cracking on now is I want to have the entire of the first floor done, punching in all of these skirting boards. So I'll start now in the living room here, and then I'll crack on with the kitchen afterwards. The reason why I want to have this floor done is because I don't need to fit it to any doors, which we would need to do upstairs. And just a quick note on how I'm doing it. I have these skirting boards pre-cut. What I do is I glue both ends, and then I put a long bead of glue on the back side of it as well, so that it connects very well to the wall. And then I chuck them in at every 60 centimeters. That's what I was told, giving it two punches with a nail gun. That should be more than sufficient. Yeah, I'll get started. So now the problem comes when you pre-cut this. I've cut either of the ends a bit too long, so I need to take off a few millimeters, and I need to do that upstairs. I'll cut it to the right size and I'll come down and continue. And that will be in a time lapse in a second. All right, second to last day of sprint week. It's Saturday. I'm back now here in the house and I have a few things that I miss. It's actually getting real close right now. So one of the things I miss is to put the last piece on the door frame that goes around here. The one you saw me put in on the inside of the wall. I need to do the same thing for the door here. And I'll get cracking with that just now as the first step, because I'll need to nail these in and use the nail gun that I borrowed from a friend, and then I can give that one back to him. I think I need to do another thing as well that does relate to the skirting boards, and it actually relates to the 3 of them that are sitting here. I think I might actually do it with the nail gun as well and just punch them in. On top of that, I'm going to sand down the windows and give them the first coat of paint, and I've got to do that on all of the windows. I think the old windows will need a few coats of paint because the previous tenants that were living here were smoking quite a bit. I think the new windows that are fitted will only just need 1 coat of paint because that will be touching up. And then on top of that, I also want to fix the staircase. And when I say fix the staircase, I actually don't mean fixing it in a way that anything needs to be done with it. I just need to get rid of all of this material that's from the carpet that was laying on the staircase previously. So I think I'll need to remove all of this, and it was stuck down with double-sided tape or some glue or some other kind of bonding. And I'm actually not 100% sure because it is quite hard to get off, as you can probably tell. But I need to get rid of all of that and then give it a good clean and probably sand down some of the things here where there's some plaster that's landed on the actual staircase so that it looks nice and tidy as well. But my brother was here last night and I didn't expect him to come, and he has been fixing almost all of the electrics. Let me show you. Walking up the stairs, just turning on the lights. So as you can see, my brother has added in this light here that is lighting up the hallway up to the 3 rooms, and it's corresponding with this one. So you can turn it on and off right here. And on top of that, he added in obviously this one. He added in this one. This one connects to the light that can be added up there. And again, also just so that you can use this power socket now. The same goes for this one. And this one. And now we actually only missed to do one more switch, which is downstairs. And the only reason why my brother couldn't do it yesterday was because he hadn't bought the right stuff. I went to the builder's merchant and bought it today, so he has it. But as you can see, he's a proper tradesman, meaning that he just leaves his stuff like this, and then I have to clean it up. But he's doing everything for free, so I really can't complain about it. Meaning that first thing I'll do is I'm going to give this a good clean out, clean everything up. Then I'm going to fix the doors downstairs, and then I'll crack on with start sanding on the windows because I want to give them the first coat of paint before I go home for dinner today. And then when we get up here later tonight, I have some small fixings I need to do, like I'll show you. I need to fix this one. I need to fix something down here, and just see it has dried, so that's quite nice. Sand that down. I probably need to fix around this one as well. Heaps amount of things to do still. But I'm quite confident that when I go home tomorrow, I'll have a good feeling in my stomach that the only thing that's missing is the doors. 3 doors that will go here behind me and then behind where the camera is right now. And then the skirting boards that are connecting up to the framing of the doors. And I have a carpenter that comes and does this on Tuesday, Wednesday, don't know. But yeah. Last day on Spring Week. I am very exhausted, and the reason why I'm very exhausted is because I was up here until I think 3 a.m, 3:15 a.m. last night, and right now it's about 11:30 in the morning. I had good 6 hours of sleep, which is alright, but I'm still dead, I'm drained. The reason why I was here so late yesterday was because I was quite determined that I could have all the skirting boards on the first floor here, have them all beaded up with the acrylic bead, and then I wanted to coat all the nail holes that I've also punched into the skirting boards. I am very pleased with the progress that we've made yesterday evening. You've also seen this on camera. I've painted 2 of the windows. Let me go up and show you the windows that I've painted, because we actually don't have too much stuff left to do here today. I've painted that window there. I've given it 3 coats of paint. I took out the metal bracings that are holding the window back in place where it should be, and painted it fully. The paint dries in about an hour, so you can give it a few coats quite fast. Another window I painted was this one, so you're gonna see right here. On top of that, I have also painted just the frame of this one, and the reason why I've only painted the frame of this one is simply because this is a new window, so it didn't have to be painted, but I have made some scratches out on the side and everything. So I've given this one touch of paint, and I've also beaded this so that it's ready to be painted now. The final window that I painted yesterday is also one of the new ones. So I've only painted the frame down here, up there, all the way around, and that was simply because the fit wasn't the best, so we had to make some fiddlings around with it and put some filler in at the very top of it. It doesn't look perfect, but it'll make do. So what's left today is to get this one sanded down and giving it 3 coats of paint, and actually the exact same thing for this window I have behind me right now. Now, my girlfriend has been wonderful. She's already sanded the majority of this window down, so what I'll do now is I'll unscrew the fixings, the metal bracings that are holding it in place to where it is right now, and I am then going to lay them out on the floor so that I know where each of them go, and then I'll give this the first coat of paint. The first coat of paint takes a bit longer to dry than the other ones. I don't know why, but that just happened yesterday. And once I'm letting that sit and dry, I'll sand the window in the kitchen and give that the first coat of paint, and then I can literally just go back and forth between them. Once that's done, the windows are fully sorted. So, sprint week is over. I am almost finished with the entire apartment. Quite frankly, I believe it could be rented out right now if people don't mind each other's privacy, because we're still missing the doors upstairs, but that is, I'll say literally, one of the only things that we're missing right now. I have been painting the windows here in the kitchen, and the other one that's behind the camera right now in the living room. I've spent most of my day doing that. Then I've spent a bit of time here in the late evening just cleaning up some stuff, clearing out a lot of the mess, organizing my stuff. So I've got the painting equipment in one place, I've got the sanding equipment in another place. And quite frankly, the only thing I'm waiting for right now is the carpenter to come on Tuesday or on Wednesday, whenever he's coming. And then he will fix the doors upstairs. Once he's done that, I'm going to tell him that I will come afterwards and give the skirting boards and the framings around the doors, I'm going to give them a lick of paint so you get rid of all the nail holes and everything. I wanted to give everything around on this floor a lick of paint with the skirting boards, because everything is done down here, but I'm running out of time. It's 8 o'clock and I have to go home to my parents, which is 10 minutes away from here, pick up some of my stuff and get some dinner, and then I need to drive back to Copenhagen, so I'll probably be back in Copenhagen at around 10 if I'm very fast and if I get my ass out of here from now. I might come back sometime during the week if the carpenter has been here, because then I can come and I can fix the nail holes and everything and just ensure everything is properly done by him. Or I can call and complain and tell him that he has to come and redo the things, otherwise I'm not paying for it. I'm looking very much forward to the doors to be fitted. I just need the doors to be fitted and the finishing around the door, the framing to be all nice and fine. Because then I can always add the finishes myself, which is add in the wood filler, sand it down, give it a lick of paint, those kind of things, because it's quite frankly not too difficult. So I'd rather come back and do that midweek if he will then, the carpenter, come and fit the doors on Tuesday, Wednesday. Aside from that, I plan on going here next weekend. And when I'm here next weekend, my plan is that I am wrapping up everything. I'm taking photos, I'm putting up the listing of it, I'm removing all of my stuff, at least out of the apartment, to ensure that everything is working fine and done. Then hopefully I'll have this rented out in about 2 weeks from now, which I'm looking very much forward for. It's been a long journey, but I'll call it for now, and I'll see you in the next one, which is hopefully going to be the last one of the renovation at least. All right, see you then.